So, good morning and welcome to the Beyond Average Journeys of Growth and Increasing Value interview series. I'm your host, Kristen Carlson, and today I'm joined by Ori Ohayon, who's the president and founder of On-Chain Listings in Miami, Florida. Ori's had an amazing career in capital markets with multiple Wall Street firms and has been building businesses developing NFT technologies leveraging blockchain. And his latest venture, he started On-Chain Listings in March of 2023. So Ori, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Could you kick us off with just a brief background as to who you are and what you do?
Sure. Yeah, so I started off my career in banking. While I was doing that, I slowly I guess the pace of the trading floor was super exciting, but I always wanted to kind of test the limits of what we could do with the infrastructure we had. I stuck to the capital markets vibe of my career. Stuck that out for a couple more years and started building out blockchain incubators for the bank. So while I was doing the sales trading stuff, I was also trying to figure out how I could use blockchain to improve the speed of equity settlements and commodity settlements. So I started building out little products that could do that. They worked out super well. We incubated them for a couple years. And all the while I was still a derivatives trader. A couple years after that, NFTs came out and I quit my job. And I developed a company called NFT Basel, where I was using NFTs as a method of transferring ownership of investment grade paintings. Exited that a couple years back, and then started building OCL, which is a very similar concept where we're using blockchain, but it's to transfer title of real estate. And we're currently live and operating in Florida.
Awesome. So what made you decide to exit your previous business? I mean, did you see this opportunity about real estate coming up and that wanting to develop that, or?
There's a couple things. I think we pigeonholed ourselves a bit too much. I think the use of blockchain has immense application, but we weren't specialists in anything. And I wanted to become a fintech tool that could really innovate an industry. So in order to do that, I wanted to find the most difficult industry to try to do that in, and that's real estate. So over the past, we've probably been working on OCL for well over 2 years, but it was trial and error, trying to figure out how this actually could operate, bringing in different partners of different specialties. So we brought in one partner who's a title lawyer, and another partner who is a real estate developer. So I'm the only like techie guy who came from banking, which doesn't really make too much sense, but yeah, we kind of put together all these different brains to ideate how this could operate. And we have a really strong development team, and we finally, after a long time of working on it, we solved it. We figured out how to automate the title process, and how to even mitigate fraud by storing the data on blockchain and monitoring it. So we've developed all these tools that should be able to help homeowners in pretty much anywhere in the world, but we're starting with Florida.
Okay, so have you monetized then the product and you'll be able to sell that to other realtors, or who would be the target market of your platform?
So there's a couple ways we're applying it. We will be going for homeowners. We have a title report which allows people to pull up essentially all the information on their property almost instantaneously. We can pull a full title report in less than a second, and that's thanks to an AI model that we developed. The second product that we're also selling is title monitoring, which is directly for homeowners, and it really allows them to monitor if someone's attempting to fraudulently move their property, if someone's taking a mortgage on their name, if someone is attempting to even sell the property without them knowing. We catch all these things. So for residential users, it's a big value add. And also for financial institutions, even for a bank, let's say if you're collateralized against a home, I can tell you if the homeowner has actually sold the house and they're keeping the mortgage, for example. And this is all thanks to AI. So we developed this model that can scrape a massive amount of data off of all these databases and then storing it on blockchain so it can't be hacked and bypassed.
So you're offering it in the Miami market. I mean, how is that going? I mean, the real estate market's in an interesting spot right now, so.
It's Miami has been very conducive to tech coming in. And surprisingly, homeowners are actually really supportive of the product. We initially went out to friends and family, and we pretty much got everyone attracted to the product. But then we started working with real estate agents on adding these products to a closing, and then we got a really positive response from that. And then we started cold calling, and then we got an even more positive response from that. So I think as an entrepreneur, you want to build a product where your product actually makes a difference to the user, where it's not just me trying to convince you that my product is good and you should buy it. It's where I actually show you, look, these are problems you're having, and this is how I can fix it for you. One of those things is saving people money, which are both our products currently offer. And two is we improve the speed that the stuff operates at, like quite significantly. Our competitors operate within weeks to try to pull this data together. Thanks to AI, we've been able to do it way faster. So we're saving time and money for people, which is the two most valuable commodities we have right now.
So what limits you to Miami? I mean, couldn't you scale this pretty quickly, or is there a reason why you have to limit yourself in Miami?
We are scaling. Currently, we focused on Miami right now because every municipality, every state has a different store of data for all this information. So we wanted to start with the Miami market because we understood it best. But we do plan on expanding. Our goal is to get through most of the US within the next few years, and then go into different countries.
Right. So you're building a business and a company. How are you attracting people to work for you on this project?
It's a really good question. We have a really good internship program. We really spend a ton of time educating people. You know what, this, like when I started off my career in banking, I find there was a lack of mentorship available. People were too busy, focused on their own career, and obviously it's a very fast moving industry, so not everyone wants to devote the amount of time that you need. And I find that running our own company, now we're able we train our own team to learn the skills we need them to learn. The better I train them, the better they're going to operate for us. So we're incentivized to teach them as well as we can. We spend the first few weeks 100% devoted to training the young guys and teaching them how we operate, showing them what the product does, what is the value add for the customer, teaching them the culture, the branding, all that stuff. And then once we do that, they operate on their own. And we have a fantastic team of juniors and interns who work for us right now. And a lot of our R&D is even coming out of interns. So we've devoted a lot of time we're offering them more value at the beginning, and we're willing to make that investment.
Awesome. Protect from a culture perspective.
I'm sorry, you cut out for a second. Can you repeat that?
So, what is unique about your culture? What is special about what you're building in your company?
So it's a very innovative business, because if OCL operates correctly and is adopted by the right stakeholders early on, we truly develop a digital land registry, and a truly digital land registry where we're not talking about scanned PDFs that an office is putting online for you to download. We're actually creating a mass store of data that associates with ownership of a home. And once you have that data cleaned up in one uniform ledger that we're using, you can transfer it way cheaper and way faster. So the cost of moving a home can take a couple $1,000s just with legal expenses, title searches, and even title insurance. My goal with the company is to turn that into the clean and centralized ledger for, let's say, the state of Florida. And if we do that, then I should be able to cut the cost in half of a title transfer. And when you look at, for example, like even in the state of Florida, how often do people put sub $10,000 down for a mortgage? If I can save you $5,000 on title transfer, I'm offering you a massive value add. So that's the goal. Is I want to remove the barriers of entry into real estate and make it way more streamlined, way faster and cheaper for everyone to use it, and no more fraud. Try to eradicate as much of it as I can.
So do you see your client as the individual property owner, the residential owner, or are you a back end to a realtor or someone like that?
Both. I think we're doing both. We're currently working with brokerages to offer the product within their own platforms. And we're going directly to homeowners as well and offering the product and title companies. So we're going top down and bottom up as well.
Awesome. And it seems like a very explosive area. I think that you'll have people begging you, right, to grow in their area.
It's yeah, we spent a long time trying to develop it to prove the case, and now I think we're at a point where people are seeing the value of the product, which is the most reinforcing feedback you can get. So we know once we scale through Florida, there's going to be a massive amount of demand from other states to come in.
So how are you going to manage that growth? I mean, as a leader of the company.
Um, Hire extremely well. We've been training our guys from a very early stage. Um, and from the founder level, we're three co-founders plus two advisors already. And we're expanding that. We're constantly bringing in partners to help us out. We're bringing in more advisors from with different specialties to help us out. Um, so yeah, it's we aren't holding the equity to protect ourselves. We're sharing the pie in order to make sure the business grows. And I think as an entrepreneur, like I'd rather be a smaller fish in a big pond, I think, in that instance, because I'd rather this prove that it's a unicorn versus keep it small and not.
So what is your biggest challenge right now as a business owner?
The biggest struggle, um, that's a good question. I think everything is a struggle in being an entrepreneur because you're constantly juggling everything. Um, I think it's being comfortable. It's being comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're like I take immense pride in this company, and pretty any time that is threatened, I feel the stress of it. So I think it's learning to control that baseline stress and learning to operate strategically versus emotionally through that.
So, and are you finding time for work-life balance? I'm sure you're innovating so fast, it's hard to like let it go.
Yeah, it you know when you love what you do, it kind of all meshes together. But I am very strict with um, Friday nights. I turn off my phone. I turn off my computer. Like there's no one who can get through to me. My entire team knows that. My partners do the same thing. And then Friday nights until Saturday nights, I don't touch any technology. I'm actually totally offline. I'm just with family. Um, and I find that to be super, super important. I've been doing that for a pretty honestly, I've been doing it since for a very long time, and it's helped me a ton. Um, I think it's truly important to like even to stop driving and to suddenly make your world a smaller place and to focus your energy on what's directly in front of you is really valuable. Um, so I'm a big believer in that, in really sitting down and taking 24 hours for yourself.
Excellent, excellent. And could you just offer a glimpse into your goals for your business and moving it beyond average?
Yeah. Um, well, since we started the company, we always had in mind that we want to become the universal land registry. That's our goal. Um, I believe in blockchain enormously and in its applications. I'm like the last believer in tokens and crypto. Um, but I fundamentally believe that blockchain will be the future of fintech. We just have to learn how to use blockchain in a way that it doesn't change the user experience other than saving time and money. If we learn to do that and we don't force the concept of a wallet or a token or any inconvenience to the end user, then I think you prove the case. So my goal is that we create a land registry that just feels like a normal website or it feels like a normal iPhone app. But on the back end, I have all these cool AI bots and I have the blockchain storing all this data, but on the front end, you'll never see it. So that's my goal. I think it's really hiding the tech versus trying to show it off and just creating a very streamlined user experience on the front.
Right. And as a property owner, I've bought and sold many homes. I'm very excited for this process to be streamlined. It's so painful, so appreciate it. So what is your advice you'd offer for any aspiring entrepreneurs who are just getting started on their journey?
There's a quote. I can't remember who told me this or where I heard it. But it goes, if you're afraid, don't do it. If you're doing it, don't be afraid. And it's being an entrepreneur, you've got to be comfortable being stressed. You have to be comfortable with people telling you no every day. And you almost have to be somewhat delusional in believing that what I'm doing is correct and that I see something that everyone else doesn't. And you have to stick to it until you can prove it. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you succeed, but you've got to be comfortable getting smacked around, being told no a million times, and then hoping that you hit gold. And I can tell you, like me and my partners, we've been told no more times than we can count. Sorry, no worries. Me and my partners have been told no more times than we can count, but we fundamentally believe in it, and we haven't let go of it, and because of that, we've managed to get through to this point. So I think it's being comfortable with getting knocked down and getting back up constantly, and acknowledging that that fear is part of the process and not something to run away from.
Agreed. And when you're ready to expand in Naples, I'm right over in Naples and would love to help you in this area. So,
I appreciate it.
so
And Naples is definitely part of our roadmap. We will be in Naples for sure.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Ori. It was great to meet you and learn more about you and your business. And just, I'm super excited for you. And to everyone watching, I look forward to seeing you on our next episode.